Okay, we're going to start now. Let me see. Jack, you know how to let's see, I'm going to do that. All right, gotcha. Okay, so my name is David Sanders. I know most of you, and if there are any that are a little bit new to me, I'll be introducing myself as we go along. One of the first things that I want to do is I want to introduce our topic here as it relates to business and what it is that I have in mind that we might be able to achieve or will be achieving as a group. So can you all see my PowerPoint screen?
Yes.
All right. So we're going to roll forward on our very first meeting of the Creative Business Strategies Marketing Alliance and Mastermind. And this is more than a simple mastermind session or group. What I have in mind is that we're going to be working as an alliance to help one another where it's appropriate and useful with each other's marketing. In today's environment, having a team doing marketing is much more powerful and sometimes really the only way that it will work well to go forward. So start off looking at why businesses fail. According to the observations that I've made over the years, there are two main things. The first one is lack of knowledge. There's some area about the business that they don't understand and then just bites them in the butt. And the second is poor execution. Because how many times have all of us known what to do and we just didn't get it done and that bit us? So between these 2 points, we can end up really moving things forward if we can solve them. So there's another outline here of the 10 main things that, according to the SBA, Small Business Administration, is the cause of people going out of business. And so let me just see if I'm gonna go ahead and do a mute all for right now, just to keep things quiet. And then you can unmute yourself with a little microphone there that has the line through it if you have something to say. So of these 10 things, lack of experience, of course, comes back to they didn't know. Insufficient capital also comes back to a combination of lack of knowledge and not being effective enough at getting out there and selling and marketing your product, or even if you need to market your company as a place where people should invest their capital so that you can roll out whatever it is that you have in mind. The next thing is you got poor location, and again, comes back a lot to poor understanding of what to do and how to run it. Excuse me just 1 second. I have one of our participants calling. Hi, anything? Okay. Okay, go to zoom.us/J/ my cell number, 818-400-6885. I think that'll get you there. If not, I will send you a link. Yeah, with another / and this cell phone number. Okay, then text me if it doesn't work. I'll text you back. Okay, so well, you've had a chance to look over the rest of these items. With our mastermind, I plan to help us zero in on 4 of these 10 items. We're going to share our experiences, and as I say, half of the people that are part of this mastermind actually have the knowledge and ability to run their own mastermind on marketing, and several of them are. So we'll have a tremendous volume and quality of experience. Insufficient capital, we can also learn about that. I've got a number of potential solutions there, as probably many of you do. Competition, how to handle that, again, comes into a lot of the marketing and other activities we'll be talking about. And low sales, obviously, that's right where it lives. The key problem areas that I plan to address in this 16-week mastermind include not having enough business, having marketing that doesn't work, and just yesterday morning, Jack Potter was commenting to me that, you know, a lot of the marketing stuff that used to work 5 years ago is fading. You know, what works now? So we're going to be looking at what is fading, what's coming strong, and we're going to try to zero in on those things that will help you the most. Not being listed in the right places or not having your things set up properly in various locations with Google and other points is fairly easily remedied if you know what it is and you know what the importances are, and you can find out how to actually fix it. It can be fixed fairly quickly if you know what you're doing. Social media not responsive, or it's a vast morass of time-wasting fiddle faddle if you don't have your ducks in a row on that. Not enough good reviews today is something that will be very damaging to a business, because if you have an opportunity to buy something on Amazon, for instance, well, guess what? If you go on there and somebody has no reviews or a couple of reviews that sound like they're paid reviews or from friends or something, they're going to go, well, am I going to risk my money on this untried person? And the same thing occurs with all of us. Somebody is serious about using any one of us for what it is that we can provide them. They're going to want to have some social proof that we know what we're doing, and that's available very broadly on the web, and we can actually help bring that about for ourselves and our friends. Another is undeserved bad reviews. I was just talking with a client last week who said that all their customers give them great reviews, but when they fire some staff member for being lazy or screwing things up, then they inevitably get a bad review from that staff member. And then it takes them a lot of work and effort to either get it off or get it down. It might be impossible to get it off at times. So how to handle undeserved bad reviews, well, that's something that we need to understand. And if you don't have any bad reviews, then you're probably not out there doing enough, because there's 2.5% of the population that will hate you if you do good stuff, and there's a bunch of other people that will hate you if you screw things up. So if you're active, you're going to get a few answers on the review section that may need some handling. And there's another thing, which is a weak PR presence. So you have these two basic things of PR on the one hand and marketing on the other. They are not the same. They can interface and interrelate. They use some of the same tools at times. Our main focus is on marketing here. However, we need to at least tip our hats to PR and have an idea of what PR needs to be doing for us. So my challenges to you and the promises that I can make of what this program will do are as follows. First of all, we will learn how to team up to outmarket and overcome 40% of the dangers. That should be fairly easy to do by the end of the 16 weeks. Secondly, we will use a better system than your competition uses. That depends to a good degree on your application of the material that we cover. It'll also depend, obviously, on our ability to present you material that will be useful. But I'm confident that we will be able to do that part of it, and then I need your assistance on the other. And the third thing I can tell you is that you will learn from the wins and mistakes of others, because I have just a lot of confidence that by the time we get out there and we're trying all these different things with marketing, if we share what we have learned, we can save one another a tremendous amount of failure and difficulty. Now, there are probably a few of you that are not very familiar with me. Maybe we've met or something, but let me just introduce myself briefly. Some of you who I know pretty well may not actually know some of my background. I was president of a startup back in the boom and bust days of the internet that I took to $1 billion valuation and number 36 on the entire internet by the end of 2000. And if you'll recall that boom and bust period, by the middle of 2000, you could no longer go public, and so it would be very difficult to cash in, and so was not able to change the world like I had hoped to, but hopefully that will be getting fixed fairly shortly. We're successful enough in our marketing. Now, I got a little note that we had some feedback. How is that now? Are we okay? Is there anybody that...
I think you should mute everybody again.
You're okay. Have we solved any feedback issues? Okay. Well, if we haven't, please, you know. All right. The second thing that I have done is I went to work in a Beverly Hills ad agency fairly early on because I learned the hard way that, you know, you just need to know how to market. So I learned, instead of by going back and getting another degree or something, I learned by learning how it was done on the street in real life. Since I lived in LA, I went to where I thought there would be money would flow like water in Beverly Hills. Well, I was in for the shock of my life. Those guys have money because they know how to pinch the pennies, and so I would get a 30-minute tongue lashing for being a day late and $50 over budget. But I definitely learned how to market using traditional marketing, particularly print marketing, newsletters, magazines, and books, and that type of thing. I'm a certified master consultant. I've worked with over 300 different industries and professions. And as I alluded to earlier, I've already made tons of mistakes. And I've got a smart wife and kids that keep me on track, and a new grandson named Archer, who lives on our ranch in Montana, expecting number 2. You can see him there at 2 years old, aboard his favorite horse. Now, the intended result of all this is that we're going to be marketing as a team, not just solo players. And I'll be going into some of the ideas I have for pulling this off a little later, and you'll have an opportunity to participate to whatever degree you would like. So your dedicated participation will get you improved marketing results, enhanced reputation, fewer online challenges like derogatory reviews. You will know best practices for handling social media, and you can pick and choose as to what you want to get involved with there. We will dial in higher website conversions and results from what you have in the way of website, or improved websites as needed. We have, I think, a number of webmasters that are part of the program, and so you'll have access to some people that'll treat you right and know the technology that we're discussing if you need some more help in that area. You'll learn about superior email campaign designs, and we have at least 1 or 2 people that have done email campaigns professionally for quite a while and have the do's and don'ts and stay away from spam, this and that. On that line, we'll hear from a little later. We're going to also talk quite a bit about online marketing research and surveys, which has been a specialty of mine for the last many years, and much, much more. We're going to tie it all up in a nice, neat bow, and by the end of our 16 weeks, that is what you will have in terms of your marketing, providing you work hard to implement during that period. So any questions about all that? You can text if you have anything. Seeing nothing yet, I'll move on. The key questions that we're going to be answering rather are, how do you attract people today? How do you drive that traffic? And how do you get your message through in an over-communicated society? While we no longer are a paper-driven society, I think this gets the point across of what most of our email inboxes may look like. We're piled with tons and tons of stuff that's screaming for our attention at many decibels. And so that is what you're trying to communicate through. That lady is who you're trying to market to very frequently. And so how do you get her attention? How do you get her to have an interest in what it is that you're presenting? It's going to take more than just simply a couple of quick headlines and send out some emails. Maybe you've discovered that already. So what are our first steps as individuals on this, this journey of a mastermind in the area of marketing? And the first step is what I like to refer to as a point A inventory. Now, I went ahead and did an email blast out about half an hour ago, I guess 45 minutes ago now, with a spreadsheet that has a lot of information on it about different types of marketing that we could consider. My first idea about this program when I was asked to do it last week, when I did my little team marketing webinar, there was a lot of demand that, hey, we need to have a marketing mastermind, and so I have pulled this together for us. But part of my idea at that point was, okay, well, let's just zero in on what's hot today, which is the online marketing aspects of it. That's basically what I have been looking at in terms of this overall strategy. However, as I was going ahead and putting the material together for you, I discovered that in actual fact, we need to take a little bit broader look at marketing because, first of all, several of us have a lot of experience and expertise with traditional marketing. And secondly, it may be that we need ideally a combination of traditional marketing and online marketing in order to maximize profits and results. So with that said, that's the general direction that we're going. But the way that we're going to approach it is a bit different. That is, with me being a market research nut, I want to find out what you need and want rather than simply decide what it is I'm going to dish out and hope you like it. And so that's where this spreadsheet comes in, because I developed it so that I could take your input and add it to the input of another 20 or 25 people that are involved in the mastermind and find out what is of the most passionate interest to the group. And I'm also going to be looking at it from the point of view of people that have things in common, because it might be that Doug and Matt and George and Morgan all love one area. They're all hot on learning to do social media marketing. Fine, good. So I will tend to group you together as a separate little subgroup here. And it may be that Jack and Carol and Patricia are all worried about, how do I make my website convert? I've got traffic, how do I make it convert? So we're going to create a little subgroup there of people that work on that little project on how to make things convert. You might have another group that would be interested in something totally different from that. So that being the case, here we go. I would like for you to take out that spreadsheet, and I'm going to show you here. If I can find it. Let's see. I'm going to show you a couple of things here that I have put together. And that one of them here is in the area of my first desktop. This is the spreadsheet which I sent you. Is there anybody that has not received this, or do you know whether you received this spreadsheet yet? If you haven't, I will resend it. Just send me a note in the chat box that you don't have it. but I'm going to encourage you, if you printed it off, go ahead and pull it out. If you have not printed it off, I would encourage you to do so. But if you can follow along with me online, I would like to go ahead and have you fill this in as we go and email it to me. I see you're not seeing the spreadsheet. Okay, well, I will. Thanks, Morgan. I will see if I can improve that. How's that? Does that work? Let me give me a little note in the chat box if you can now see that here. But I wanted to have you basically making notes on this as to what you have tried, whether it worked or not. Good, good. Whether it's something that you want to learn more about. And for many of you, you'll want to say, hey, I would be interested in teaching about how that's done or how to use it and that kind of thing. Does that make sense? All right. So the first thing that I would like to do, and I guess I'll go back to the, just use this mobile version right here for the moment. Is your website mobile friendly? And what I've got here is a scale of from 0 or blank, which means no, to 5 means it's wonderful for mobile friendly. It may be that you've gotten it somewhat mobile friendly, but it's not great. Well, maybe it's a 2 or a 3 or whatever it is. In many of our cases, we have multiple websites. So for our purposes today, I would like to have you pick one product line, one kind of company, or if you have multiple companies, as I do, one thing that we're going to be marketing first. That's basically what we're going to start with. You'll find that what we go over will apply broadly, and if you want to make a copy of this spreadsheet and apply it to different things, be my guest. What I have here is I have divided things into websites at the top, driving traffic next, social media marketing, which is the next category, traditional marketing, marketing basics that will apply to all of it, and then at the end, PR and marketing. The second category, which is fairly brief but important, is a reputation inventory of how you look online if somebody just Googled your name and see what they get. Googled your business, what do they get? So look for reviews, look for derogatory articles or whatever. These are positive articles. Any of that will make it useful for an analysis point. Then I've got down here at week 8, halfway through the program, we'll do a midway marketing inventory to find out how well you're doing and what's working, what you want to know about now, since you will by that time been exposed to a lot of useful stuff. And then by week 16, we'll do an ending marketing inventory. And we'll see how you're stacking up by that time, what your reputation looks like, how you're doing as far as traffic driving and all that kind of thing. So I'm doing my best to help lay out for us a route to progress and zero in on those areas out of these 60-some areas, if you count the reputation thing, that we are going to focus on first, because part of success has to do with deciding what to give up, what to neglect, what to skip, and focus on the stuff that is the most vital and the most important. And that's part of what we're going to be doing. I'm going to be in the process of delivering this, going over those things that are most needed and most popular as a part of our 16 presentations. But I will also be working on the smaller things in terms of smaller groups and other things that we may do to help you. My goal in all this, as you may be aware, is that it's a pilot project. It's a beta test. And I believe that we can take this beta test and make it into something that is really worth thousands of dollars and would be a product that would be extremely valuable that we can roll out across the whole country and make it something that will help a lot of people. So that's my intention with this. And right now, you're going to benefit from the test and hopefully benefit greatly, because the better you do with this, the more exportable it will be and the better product it will be. And so I value your feedback. I welcome your feedback and your help in making this a great product for everybody. So that said, I would like for you to grab this, or if you don't have it, you don't have access to it, fine, come back to it later. But I want to explain what is going on and how to fill it in. So is your website mobile friendly? In the case of Creative Business Strategies, it is not. So you can put 0 or leave it blank. So did it work? Well, I haven't done it, so it didn't work. Do I want to learn more about it? I'd say that's probably about a 3, because yeah, I've got it actually more than halfway converted to mobile friendly, but it hasn't been finished. But I want to teach about it. I'll leave that blank. I'll leave that to somebody who knows more about it. Is my website, or is your website, designed to convert viewers? Well, you got to ask the question, convert them to what? Well, obviously, you want to convert people to either giving you a name and email address that's actually a valid email address. You want to get them to maybe take you up on a free introductory service. You may want them to do to buy some low-cost item or even a higher-cost item. Is it designed to convert people to that? Well, mine was designed to convert people to do that. Not brilliantly designed, but it was designed that way. And does it work? Occasionally, not to what I would like. So how valuable is do you have valuable free content on your site? If you don't, I highly recommend that you get some. And so in my case, I've got a lot of valuable free content. And has it worked? Yeah, I get some people on the site, staying on the site, looking me over. Now, how about exchanging products for prospects? In other words, you can exchange a white paper or a download of some kind, or get on my newsletter mailing list and try that. Oh, yeah. And it worked fairly decent. And to go on through this, what about landing pages? Like if you are making a particular kind of an offer, you don't want to have somebody that is coming onto your website for a particular item or a particular service get dropped in the middle of a confusing homepage that doesn't have much to do with that, or where there's one little box or one little button someplace that if they can find it, they can click and find the answer to their question. Many people will simply hit the back key and they're gone. So in that kind of case, where you're promoting a certain thing, you should have a landing page or a squeeze page, and then sometimes I use that, and when I use it, it works pretty well. So multiple websites for different product lines. I have, I guess, a dozen to 15 websites, something like that. And does it work fairly well? I'd say, yeah, fairly well. And go on through there. Would I like to teach more about this or that? I can teach on a number of these topics, but I'm giving you the idea here of how to fill that in. Is that making sense? Let me just see a little group chat action here on that. Good, good. Okay, now I'm going to switch us back to, let's see if I can get back to, let me just unmute everyone for a moment. And I would just like to get a little bit of feedback from you, if it would be useful for me to go through this entire list of items so that I can explain what each is, or if they're sufficiently self-explanatory that after the thing at your leisure, you can go ahead and fill that in and send it to me. What's your pleasure?
I think it looks good as it is. I don't need any more help.
Your thoughts?
Yep, self-explanatory.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have one. I
Okay.
have one question just to go over again what a
You can speak
what
up. I
a
have you
squeeze
unmuted.
page is. Hello.
Oh, I have my-
hello, Dave. It's Christopher. Can you hear me?
I can, Christopher. Nice to hear you.
Hi. I just have one question. The definition again of a squeeze page.
Oh, okay. A squeeze page is basically a page that someone goes to from which they have only one choice. In other words, they don't
Okay.
have several different things they can do. They're squeezed into a single choice. They either take that
I got
choice or they close the page.
Thank you. I got it.
Sure.
I
Okay.
think everything else is pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Anyone else? All right. So in that case, I'm going to go ahead and these things that I'm going to go on to the rest of my little presentation here. I'm going to change this over. Okay. And we're going to share the second desktop. Good. So here I went ahead and put this into a format that is designed to get you to answer the questions on your spreadsheet. I chose to do it with the physical spreadsheet rather than the PowerPoint presentation. There is another term in here that I've used that is probably not well understood, so let me define that, and that's called retargeting. And retargeting basically just means that when someone, oh, and I'll answer another question here in a minute. Retargeting is where someone comes to your site and leaves. Then you can set it up in such a way that when they go to a popular site like Facebook, your ad and the ads for your product or services are over in the advertising section of that Facebook page or whatever page. And then when they click on that, they are brought back to your site. That's called retargeting. There's another thing. Oh, I see. You're not seeing my screen yet? Okay, let me try. How's that? Does that work? Okay, good. So over here you can see retargeting explained, the website, they leave, they go to any other site or that participates in the retargeting, and bang, they're brought back to your site when they click on that thing. So if you've ever thought of buying something on Amazon and then you said, nah, I'll come back to it later, and you leave and keep finding this haunting you for the next several weeks or something like that, well, that's retargeting, and it is extremely effective. Another thing that is around, been around a long time, is called a sales funnel, and that, or marketing funnel, and that goes from, I'll just go back to this. That starts off with a broad group of prospects, all the people, all the lists that you got of people, and you email to that, and you've got the people that express some interest. And then out of that, you send them more material, and then you've got the guys that are would like an appointment or hot prospects. And then out of that, you got the people that you make a presentation to, and out of that, you have the people that you actually close for business. And that's a sales and marketing funnel. And you can go online and search for them, and you can get all kinds of fun examples and all that kind of stuff, but that is what it is. All right. And so what I have in mind with our Creative Business Strategies Marketing Alliance and Mastermind is to help each other get our marketing stuff on track. Because part of it is figuring out what is the most important thing to do, and then getting the resources and knowledge necessary to do it, following through and executing it, and then building on that. There are certain building blocks that are so critical to everything else that we're going to have to deal with them to some degree, greater or lesser degree. Websites, of course, being one of them, driving traffic being another, social media being another. These are things that to some degree we will work on them. We'll have to zero in on the things that are the most vital to most of the members, and also do our best to try to help those that have unique needs the best that we can. So there's another key question which has to do with our competition. Most of us, I think, have the attitude of we don't really have any competition, but it's a good idea to look out there and see who else is trying to sell or sell the same thing or move a similar kind of a product. And what I have in mind is using the Alliance to help beat the competition by a combination of figuring out how to out-market them, which we can do, and secondly, to use the team to overcome lack of support, poor reviews, a little bit of that type of thing that does occur from time to time. Now, the second basic thing that I want to do in addition to the marketing inventory right at the bottom of it, as I showed you on the screen with the spreadsheet, is to find any bad reviews or potential marketing black marks, hopefully before they blow up and cost you money. One of the clients that I've had for years basically got into a situation where he got a number of sites that were trying to be very nasty to him indeed. And if you just typed in the man's name or his company name, you had all these really nasty, awful people saying all these nasty things that frankly were undeserved. There was a lawyer trying to make a bunch of money off the guy and trying to do a class action suit against him. All kinds of wacky stuff was happening. And so we had a situation where if you put in the man's name or his business name, there might be one site toward the bottom of the page that would be ours, and the rest would be mostly nasty sites. And so we were able to fully handle that to the point that you don't have any derogatory comments on this individual or his business for the first 3 pages of Google. And this is a man that has maybe over 500,000 members in his organization. So it's a not because there aren't lots of people out there talking about him, but we have managed to control that quite well. We're going to be using a proven method for improving PR and reviews, and that is teamwork. Using teamwork actually works, and there's another mastermind that I'm a member of, another program that I'm doing that is using this extremely effectively, and so I would like to help do that for us. Now, how do we compete? This is something that deals, it's a graphic that I like that deals with a lot of the things having to do with our online marketing. And so they're talking about organic, which means just you create the website and your content and the way that you create it technically, the way you design it so that it converts people to whatever it is that you want them to buy or do as a result of visiting your site. That's well designed, that we get local orientation from Google Local or Google My Business or whatever they call it this week. And map optimization, if you have any kind of a local presence, then that would be something that should definitely be done. Pay-per-click, we have on our mastermind at least 1 or 2 people that have done or are doing pay-per-click marketing professionally, so we'll have some great presentations on that. It is not right for everybody, but Steve was just telling me earlier today that he gets a 600% profit off of doing this with the clients, so it could be pretty hot. And then the social media, what do you post, how often, how do you brand it, how do you do a campaign, How do you want to engage things? I had one client, for instance, that was a magazine, national magazine. They've done extremely well. They had like 21,000 likes and friends on Facebook that they had amassed over a period of years. And they hired their granddaughter to come in and do some stuff around the publishing company. And she says, "Oh, could I do the Facebook? Oh, I just love Facebook." And they said, "Oh, sure, dear, go ahead." 6 weeks later, they had 145,000 followers on Facebook. And it's like, okay, all I need is an 18-year-old. That's what I need. So we could do some things on the social line. We just have to find somebody young enough to teach us old dinosaurs how to do that. Now, the other thing is in terms of the conversion rate. I mentioned earlier the sales funnel, how to get new leads, calls to actions, and then something called an A/B test. And I have mentioned that on the thing. And that is where you have ad A and ad B. And on Google AdWords, as an example, half of the people see ad A, and the other half of the people that see your ad see ad B. And you can tell very quickly within a day or two which one of those ads is pulling better, and whichever one doesn't pull very well, you yank that one down and you create a new ad, ad C. Say ad A is still doing great. Bring in ad C, D, whatever, and each time you'll test this against the other one. You can do the same thing on terms of the offer at the end. There's lots of different ways to use this A/B test, and it's a very powerful tool. And so this is a potential kind of a approach that we could take to, by the end of our 16 weeks, we could have a page like this based on what our needs are and what we want to learn about, what we think is going to be best for our businesses. We will have one of these things that we have figured out, and we can all say, good, we're working good on that. Now, one of the things that I want you to send me when you send me the email of your beginning marketing inventory, I've asked a question up at the top right, which is, would you like to help as a presenter? Actually, not just the top right. You want to teach on each one of these topics. You can put down there how strongly you would like to teach on that subject, and that'll give us a feel. I'll look over who wants to hear about it, who wants to present it, and I'll try to make a good combination of those things. So please let me know if you have an interest in presenting, and what we'll be talking about is anything from 5-10 minutes up to 20 or 30 minutes, depending upon the difficulty and how much time is needed to make a good presentation on the subject, and the amount of interest that we have in our group for those items. So the other thing is, I'm looking for putting small groups together, as I mentioned earlier, that have specific interests. For instance, those people that are really, really interested in social media and want to dive into it full on, what I wanted to do is I wanted to put a small group together that's focused on that outside of our main time, because I'm trying to keep our main time down to about 30 to 45 minutes. And it's difficult to do that and still get any input or feedback and have you get your questions answered. So let me know if you have an interest in that, and we will organize that. How do you stand out and be different from all those other companies? Well, this is basically one of those things that we're going to be sorting out. So I'm going to now open it up for question and answer time. If you would text in any questions, I'm going to unmute you. You're welcome to ask them, but if you can text in questions online or to my cell, which I have the number up there, that would be appreciated. So what questions do you have? All right, all I hear is crickets.
Everyone's typing.
Oh, those are crickets. My goodness.
Yeah,
You know, I'm
it's the
from,
typing crickets.
oh, good. Well, I'm from Lubbock, Texas, which is the home of Buddy Holly. Those of you old enough to remember who that was. And one night, the way he became famous was he put out this record, Peggy Sue, and some disc jockey in New York locked himself, boarded himself up in his studio, wouldn't let anybody in, and he did nothing but play Mary Sue and a couple other Buddy Holly songs for an hour. And he called Buddy Holly from Texas, and he asked, and he was talking to Buddy, interviewing him, and then he said, "What's that? What's in the background?" And he was referring to who were the other band members. And Buddy said, "Oh, the Crickets," talking about the so he became known as Buddy Holly and the Crickets from there on. And the Beatles loved that sound so much that they named their band, the Beatles, after the Crickets.
Wow.
Oh, I didn't know that story. That's a fabulous story.
So Lubbock, Texas is responsible for the Beatles.
Yes.
Right. Right. Wow.
I went to the same high school as Buddy Holly. Yeah. We had a great time.
Oh.
Well, I didn't know him, but he had a
Wow.
All right. So any other questions, go ahead and send them along. I'm going to be wrapping up here because I don't want to keep you too long. In this economy, don't take chances. I think that it's vital that our marketing take off. Marketing is tougher now than it's ever been in my experience.
That's for sure.
And I am piloting this thing right now. I'm not charging a dime to anybody for it. And when I get it done and we get it dialed in, I'll be marketing it for $2,000 a head, assuming that we are extremely successful. And so I'm counting on you to be extremely successful because that's my paycheck. If your success is outstanding, then we have a marketable thing. You'll have a lot of personal benefit, and I'll have something that we can market. So that's the game. The mastermind is free. If you've got a friend that wants to get onto it, it's likely that some people who signed up for it won't have the time or won't be just the right thing for them. That's fine. But let me know. I will go ahead and make a few more tickets available to you and your friends, and let's do it. So here's my request from you. If you're serious about this thing and you want to get it done, you want to really participate, then by Sunday night, I need to have your pay inventory, that whole thing filled out. If you've got any questions about any of it, I'm going to give you my email address here in a second. Just email me about it and ask me, or you can even text me if it's really rushed, and I will do my best to respond to you. You can email me that inventory. That would be my preferred method at ceo@creativestrats.com, or you can fax it to me at 888-677-1698, which is my fax number, toll free. And once I've got that input, then I will go ahead and finalize what the program is going to be for the next 16 weeks based on your needs and wants. And then I will also be lining up those of you to be presenters that will provide the greatest benefit and the greatest interest to the group. And those that have specific needs that seem to fit well together, I will be discussing during our next meeting a week from today at 1 o'clock. Exactly 1 week from today. And at that time, we will start organizing the smaller groups and picking the leaders that have expressed their interest in leading the smaller groups. And then it'll be, to a certain degree, up to you which of these groups that you'd like to join. I will be personally leading one. I'm going to be recruiting some of my friends and some great people to help lead some of the others. So this is a sample marketing playbook that we may end up with something like this, where we might start with a website. Let's make sure everybody's website is designed to convert. Then we have some sales pages, some landing pages, squeeze pages that these get developed. They're fairly easy and inexpensive to do. Make sure we've got valuable content on our website. Create an email list by having some kind of a giveaway that people want. Work on some SEO. Work on the keywords. Make sure our website's set up that way to attract traffic as much as possible. Work on our reputation. Do some email campaigns. Have some Facebook marketing. Maybe some AdWords. May not be right for you, but though for those it's right for, hey, it can be very powerful. Retargeting and YouTube channel, maybe that's what we'll cover for the 16 weeks. But without the data, this would be just a guess. So I put this up here as an example of what we should have a week from today is a marketing playbook, which by the end of this period, we will be able to do. And my goal here is to help you make this your very best year ever. And I would very much like to have that occur. So Morgan has a suggestion here. You want to go ahead and...
did I unmute myself now?
You did. Go right ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I was just going to say on the playbook here, one thing I thought of that is kind of an underlying item that should be before all the marketing items is analyzing the product itself.
Right.
Because that'll determine what type of marketing is suitable. Because not all types of marketing is suitable for all products.
Correct.
So I almost think of it in terms of you have to really kind of just narrow it down and start with the product itself, and then determine is it a social media kind of product? Well, first of all, is it business to business or is it consumer?
Right.
That eliminates a lot of stuff right there.
Right.
Secondly, is it local or is it national? If it's local only, then you eliminate a bunch of stuff right there.
Right.
And then go over to the marketing items. And once you determine what type of product it is and what's suitable for it.
Excellent point. And I think I'll, if you can just put that in a quick email to me or something like that, I'll blast it out to the group. And so those that have gotten the spreadsheet but haven't gotten that orientation, that'd be great. Certainly the basic principles that I use in marketing, you want to know all the stuff that you can do and narrow it down to which product you're going to be marketing. And obviously then that helps define a whole lot of the other things. And I mentioned that briefly in the earlier part of the presentation, but for sure that's a vital point. Cool. Any other points? All right. Well, in that case, I've got my final slide for you. Which is here. I've given you my personal cell number. You can text or email, and fax and my email address. I check the emails very frequently, and would be very happy to have your input, and also anything that you want to put in the chat box here, I would be very happy to have. So. That's what I have for you today. I hope it's been helpful. And if you've got any questions or say, feel free to go ahead and put out any kind of message or email to me, and I'll do my best to help you.
Thank you, David.
Good. So I'm going to stop the recording now.